Hello everyone, welcome to video 3. We are talking about the intermediate series of programmatic. We already discussed the video 1 and 2 in which we talked about the attribution models, audience segmentation, and today we will be talking about reporting in DV360. It's an important topic to understand because not just if you are already a programmatic advertiser or a digital marketer, but even if you are applying for jobs in programmatic field, people will ask you how do you do reportings and various questions around reporting. So we need to understand how reporting works. Let's get into the video right away. Alright, so reporting in DV360 from raw data to real decisions. We'll talk about custom reports, key metrics, scheduling, Looker Studio integration. We'll talk about today's agenda would be why reporting matters, standard versus custom reports, key metrics and dimensions. Then we'll talk about scheduling these reports, Looker Studio integration, and I'll give you some common mistakes and pro tips that people do while downloading these reports. Alright, the foundation. Why reporting matters in DV360. So running ads without checking reports is like driving blindfolded. You never want to do that. You might be moving, but you have no idea where you are going. Because the reports give you insights on how the data is performing, how your ads are performing and pacing. So the first thing is to see performance. Know what's working, be it impressions, clicks, conversions, all in one place. That's the use of reporting. Then you can optimize spend. Shift budget away from underperforming line items before money is wasted. Because we don't want to waste our money on the line items which have been underperforming. Then to prove value to the stakeholders. By showing the direct ROI from our programmatic campaigns, we can show this is the impact that we created, and that can be done using reporting only. Now, what are standard reports and what are custom reports? Standard reports are pre-built templates. It's like using Canva. You directly click on the template, be it a pacing template, be it a time of day template. So there are some pre-created templates in DV360 reporting UI. You directly click on them and then you can download reports as per your own campaign line item, whichever level you're downloading these reports for. Then custom reports is where you manually choose every dimension and metric. In standard reports, it's accessible right from your campaign UI. Okay, it's great for quick daily, weekly checks. It has limited dimension and metric combos because it's automated report. It has limited options of dimensions and metrics. Although you can edit them, you can modify which metric or dimension you want. What are metrics and dimensions? I'm going to discuss it in further slides. So don't worry if you're not aware of what metrics and dimensions are. Then no scheduling or auto email delivery option is available in standard reports. The example for standard reports is reach report, which generally people download just by clicking on reach, adding their advertiser ID and downloading these reports. Then frequency reports and viewability reports are another example for standard reports. Now in custom reports, we have flexible date ranges and filters because we manually select what date range, what filters are we looking these reports for. We can schedule and email these reports automatically on our emails. We can get weekly, monthly reports for these particular custom reports. We can export them to CSV file, Excel file or Google Sheets. Ideal for deep analysis and client reports. Then it is powered by Looker Studio under the hood. Okay, Looker Studio is a tool using which you can use bars, charts, different kind of charts, and it makes your data looks beautiful. Anybody can access that and it gives you real-time reports. You don't even have to download reports for Looker Studio. How to integrate that, I'm going to tell you in the further slides. Now, how to build a custom report in DV360. These are the steps for the same. You can take a screenshot. If you want to remember the steps, you can note it down if you have a pen and paper. I'll just say these out for you once. So first option is open reports. You go to DV360 reports, my reports and a new report. Then you choose the report type, select standard for most use cases. Options are reach, floodlight, YouTube, etc. Then you set date and filters, what date you want these reports to be pulled for. And then you can filter it out by advertiser, campaign or line item. You might be wanting these reports for the entire advertiser or just one campaign or just a few line items. So you can do all those filtrations. Then you need to add dimensions. Dimensions means how you slice up these reports. For example, you can add what are the main slices that I want this report for, be it device type, creative type, audience segment, day, etc. And then you add metrics. Now what metrics are? Metrics are what you measure. For example, impressions, clicks, VCR, CPA. So all these are known as metrics because we will be measuring these particular metrics for certain dimensions. And then finally you run and export, click on run and then download the CSV file or send it directly to the Google Sheets. Whichever way is easier for you. The key metrics you must be knowing. First one is impressions. Impressions is total times your ad was shown. clicks, number of times somebody clicked on the ad, CTR, click-through rate, VCR, video completion rate. We have discussed this multiple times, but I am still reiterating once. For the ones who have just visited my page, this is like the third video in the intermediate series. If you want to understand these metrics in detail, we have talked about them in the basic series. You can go to the programmatic basic series. I'll add a card above, and then you can visit and see in detail what these matrices do. Then comes CPM, it means cost per mil or 1000 impressions. CPC is cost per click. CPA is cost per acquisition or a conversion. Acquisition means conversion. It's one and the same thing. ROAS or ROAS, which means return on ad spend. And the formula for that is revenue divided by ad cost. Then view through rate, conversions after seeing, not clicking your ad, after seeing your ad, people who converted. And then the last metric is reach, unique users who saw your ad. These were few matrices. Now let's discuss the differences between dimension versus metrics. What's the main difference? Okay, think of a report like a spreadsheet. Dimensions are the row labels, the who, what, where, and metrics are the numbers in columns, which tells you how much. Dimensions is how you slice, be it on the basis of date, day, week, month, or device type, be it a mobile, desktop, CTV. So you can download reports for these dimensions. For example, you can see which device type is performing or pacing best. So you will download a device type report, you will add matrices like impressions, CTR, VCR, whatever your goal is. And then you will see, okay, mobile is getting the maximum number of impression in the lowest cost. So mobile is acting better. So that's how you analyze these reports. So I'll tell you the main metrics and dimensions which we use generally being an analyst in programmatic. So the first one is date, day, week, month. That's a dimension most commonly used. We can add which date or which day parting is working best for our campaigns. Then we can do a report on the basis of what device type is working best, be it mobile, desktop, CTV, tablet. And then the creative, of course, you can see which ad was shown and which ad creative is working best for your particular ads. Audience segment, if retargeting is working better, or which retargeting ad audience is working better, or if affinity is working better in compared to in-market, and which in-market segment is working better. So we can do a audience segment report. Exchange report or supply source report, which exchange that I selected has the maximum number of impressions or whatever the KPI is. Then on the basis of browser, okay, you can see which browser and OS is working best for me, be it a Google Chrome, be it Firefox. Maybe some people have better results on Firefox than Google, so browser also. Then geography, we can download reports on basis of geography, which city is working best, which pin code is working best. And finally, line item or insertion order, we can see which line item works best for us, which insertion order works best for that particular campaign. And what matrices would you be using? It completely depends upon your KPI, but the major metrics which are available in these reports are impressions, clicks, conversions. These are the most important metrics. You should add them in every report that you're downloading, no matter what your KPI is. Then comes CTR, VCR, view through rate, CPM, cost per 1000 impression, cost per click, cost per acquisition, return on ad spend. Total revenue should be added in all reports because you need to see what was the total revenue, what was the spend that particular dimension had done. Okay, total revenue and media cost, viewable impression and percentage viewable, reach and frequency, active view measurable rate, post click and post view conversions. These are all the metrics that you can measure. Now, analysis of 5 report breakdowns every analyst must use. First is by creative. You should always download reports on basis of creative, which creative is performing best for you. See which ad format or design drives the best CTR and VCR, kill what doesn't work for you. Okay, second would be by device type. You should be knowing your creatives are working best on which device type, desktop or mobile or CTV, and your budget should follow where your audience are getting mostly converted. Then by audience segment, compare performance across audience segment to double down on high performing audience segments. Increase the budget there. By day or hour, okay, identify peak performance windows for your ads. Day parting starts with this particular report. You can add, I just want to show my ad from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Not on Monday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's the time my customers get converted the most. My ad is getting the most number of impressions on these particular days. It can work different for different advertisers. And finally, by line item level, drill down to see which targeting tactic or deal ID delivers the best ROAS. On the basis of line item, we can see if a line item has a particular deal connected to it, so that is working better, or a line item which has open exchange targeted, that is performing better. So we can download these reports on basis of line items. We can schedule the reports. We can set it and forget it. So stop downloading reports manually every Monday morning. DV360 lets you automate delivery to any email, including your client's email as well. So how to schedule a report? These are the steps. Build your custom report as usual. Slide 4 to 5. Click the clock icon and then click on schedule. Set frequency if you want these reports on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Add the recipient email addresses, be it yours or clients. Then choose the format in which you want the report, be it Google Sheets link or a CSV link. And then save these reports. DV360 automatically sends it at the time that you have set it. Now pro tips are: schedule client facing reports on Monday morning so data is ready for weekly reviews. If you download the client facing reports on Monday itself, then you are already aware of what you're going to present to the clients. Use Google Sheet format, it updates live and can feed a dashboard. It works better with Looker Studio. I have my own personal experience in this. And send a daily pacing report to yourself to catch budget issues early. If any of your insertion order or line item has stopped spending, or if there is any budget issue, if you would be getting these automated reports on daily basis, you can catch the budget issues early on and then you can fix them. Always include a last 7 day versus previous 7 days comparison in your reports. Okay, DV360 plus Looker Studio is equal to live dashboards. Looker Studio was earlier known as Data Studio. It connects directly to DV360. It lets you build beautiful live dashboards your clients can view anytime. So how to connect that? DV360 as a connector, Google's native DV360 connector. You create an account there. Then you create an account in Looker Studio where the charts, table, KPI cards are built. And using connector, your DV360 data gets into Looker Studio and a shared dashboard is created which clients can also view. It's a lifetime, real-time dashboard which you can also see how performance is going or pacing is going for your live campaigns. Okay, understanding attribution in DV360 reports. I created a separate video on attribution models. You need to see that video. We have covered everything including last click, last impression, linear and data driven. If you want to read it down, you can take a screenshot because I'm going to move forward with this attribution model. I've discussed this in that particular video and I'm going to attach that video's link above in the card. If you are not aware of the attribution models, please watch that video once and then come back from this point in the reporting video to understand it further. Okay, common reporting mistakes that one should avoid. Only looking at impressions. This is me a few years ago. I only used to download reports with impressions, conversions and clicks. That is not a complete picture of your reports. Okay, impressions tell you reach, not results. Always pair it with CTR. What was the click-through rate of these impressions? VCR, what was the video completion rate if it's a video campaign? Or CPA, depending on your goal. Okay, ignoring view-through conversions. DV360 tracks conversions from people who saw your ad, not just clicked on your ad, who saw your ad. Excluding them undervalues display campaigns. View-through conversions matter. Wrong date comparison. Comparing 2 months with different lengths like Jan versus Feb skews your performance. Use same length windows. If it's a 30-day window, it should not be compared to a 31 or 28-day window. No dimension on report. Please, that should not be done. Metric alone is meaningless. Add at least one dimension. Be it device, creative, day to give context. What are you comparing actually? If you're just seeing impressions or clicks or conversions, that you can see on the UI also. Right? You need to add some dimension. Then forgetting attribution model. Different models produce different conversion numbers. Always state which model was used when sharing reports. Attribution model matters a lot. Now, analyst shortcuts that I'm going to share with you are: always save your custom reports. Name them clearly, like weekly performance device breakdown. Because when you download multiple reports, sometimes you can mix them up and you are not even aware why I actually downloaded this report. So the team can reuse them. Use compare date range. DV360 lets you compare current versus previous period in one report. Use it to show MOM or week on week trends or month on month trends. Filter out internal traffic. Okay, exclude your own IP or test campaigns before pulling reports to avoid inflating your metrics. Combine DV360 plus CM360 for full funnel view. DV360 shows delivery, CM360 shows conversion across channels. Together, the complete picture can be seen. Segment by floodlight activity. If you have multiple conversion goals, let's say sign up form, purchase, then break them out to see which ad drives which. Export to Google Sheets for live updates. Share a sheet link instead of static CSV. It refreshes automatically when data is updated. That's why I also generally prefer using Google Sheets better than Excel. DV360 reporting quick reference. Report type: standard report, custom report, floodlight report, YouTube report and reach and frequency report. These are the report types. Must have metrics. What should be the metrics that you cannot avoid? First is impression, click and click through rate. Always there these should be always there in your reports. Then if it's a video campaign, video completion rate should be there. If then for display, CPM, CPC, CPA depending on your goal. ROAS is a metric that you cannot avoid. What was the return on ad spend if client is looking for such a metric? Viewability percentage, you can see what was the percentage of ads which were viewable. and reach and frequency reports. Must have metrics. Best dimension to download the reports first, of course, on the basis of date, day, week, or month, on the basis of device type, on the basis of creatives, audience segment, line item, and then exchange also. Okay, so the key takeaways from today's video would be standard reports are fast and powerful. Know when to use which one. Okay, dimension, slice your data, metrics, measure it. You need both. You need both dimension and metrics, both, of course. Schedule reports to save time and keep clients informed automatically. Looker Studio connects directly to DV360 for live shareable dashboards. Attribution model choice changes your conversion number. Always be transparent about it. Next video, I'm going to talk about audience targeting deep dive, which we have already discussed in basic series as well. We'll deep dive into audience targetings. So thank you so much for watching it till the end. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.